Hi again guys, and welcome to another speed build for Forza Horizon 3, and this time it's for an unlockable vehicle, the Bentley Continental GT3. Now, I can't recall exactly how I won this car. I believe it was using some other vehicle in a certain amount of races or something like that. But if you do want to pick up this Bentley, you can find it in the auction house. I can't guarantee prices, of course, but you can find them there. Now, as far as the build on this particular model, it is a rapid vehicle. Now, as far as the upgrades, I would recommend converting the car to all-wheel drive. Now, being a race car, as with some other race cars, some people might not want all-wheel drive. It does kind of go against the aura of the vehicle. But if you're not opposed to that idea, I would strongly recommend it. It gives you much quicker acceleration off the line, and of course the off-road handling, because you will end up off-road with this car at some point, is so much better, especially on a car which is lighter and has so much power and torque. Now, as far as the rest of the tuning, of course I'd just recommend fitting everything that improves the car. Now, as far as the tune setup itself, which incidentally you can find, as always, on my storefront, so just use the keywords in the description below to find this tune if you want to just stick it straight onto your car. But if you prefer to do it yourself, as you can see, it's got some really decent numbers: 1.7 to 60, 3.4 to 100, which is very impressive, and a top speed of just under 251 miles per hour, which again is really impressive. Now, as far as the gearbox, the main thing that improves this car is the final drive, and that goes for a lot of cars really on Horizon 3. I would recommend a final drive of 3, then we've just rounded off the rest of the gears basically to 2.9, 2, 1.5, 1.15, 0.95, and then we've left 6th on 0.78, and then for the rest, as I often do, I've left it very open to interpretation. So we've got neutral camber, neutral toe. I personally opted for a caster angle of 6 degrees on this car, but feel free to change that. I rounded off the anti-roll to 45 and 30, the springs to 230 and 260, with the ride height on 9 centimeters on the front, 9.1 on the rear. For the dampers, again, we've just rounded it off to 15, 16, 7 and 7. The aerodynamics, or the downforce more specifically, you want as low as possible. And finally, for the diff, in particular, of course, with all-wheel drive, I would recommend the highest acceleration. Then it's kind of optional for deceleration. You could go for 0, you could go for 100, both have their own advantages. And as far as the center split, as you can see, I would recommend a split of 65% in favour of the rear. Now, as always, I don't take these cars out to actually drive them in these tune setup videos, because you can do that for yourself. But as I said, you can either follow this build, or of course, you can get this from the storefront by using those keywords down below. So, if you do decide to use this build for the Bentley, obviously I hope you find it fun, and it most definitely is a very competitive car. And as always, if you would like to keep up with other builds like this in the future, you can do that by hitting subscribe down below, or by checking out the ones which we've already done in the playlist at the end of this video. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.